Okay, it says we are live. I always just try to wait for that window to pop up over here so I can make sure. All right, we are good. Let me let Charles in here. Welcome, everyone. Today is Friday. Thank you, Martina. Today is Friday, which means it is our weekly group coaching session. So I want to welcome all of our visionaries here to the meeting. And I want to show you guys how you can join if you are a reseller in our program. Let me share my screen here. And hopefully you guys can see my screen. So if you go into the dashboard and you go to the community tab, you'll see the events calendar here. You just want to click on that link there and you can join us in the Zoom. If you're in our free community, you can't join us in the meeting, but you can certainly watch on YouTube. It's also posted in the discussion area as well. If you are not a member of our program and you would like to join, you guys can see I just redesigned the website. Thank you, Manus, for all of the design ideas. So if you need to log into the community, you can do that there or the dashboard. If you want to join our free community, you can sign up here. And then we also have options to join by signing up for high level. You can join our reseller program for free. You can also click here to join. If you're a current high level customer, you can sign up for our software bundle, our free community. You can check out my blog or my shop there. You can check out our reviews. A lot of these people are here. And then you can also book a private consultation with me there. So that's basically the new website design. I want to stop sharing here and I want to make sure that I let everyone in. So today I wanted to share with you, I've been using Manus this week, but I actually, this is so funny. I actually had Manus for the first time create an image, and let me show you what it created here. Now, I've been bragging a lot about Manus, but I want you to see this is the image that it created for a Facebook ad. So that is horrific. So here's another variation and another variation. These are far from good images, but ChatGPT, I just upgraded to the Pro version, the one that's 199 because I wanted to test this out and compare it to Manus. Definitely a lot better images, but you guys will know the 4.0 version that was just released is the one that's best for images. So I just want to show you here, if we create an image, and somebody just shout out, give me an example or give me an idea for an image that I should create. Just give me an idea.
Do a astronaut floating in neon liquid.
Astronaut floating in neon liquid.
And have
Oh, I hit enter too fast.
what I was gonna say, see if you could get when you create an image, see if
Yes.
you could get the image to reflect on like the mask to see if it could also do a reflection.
Oh, well, it's super
That's
advanced.
dope. That's
Our
dope.
AI guy and our AI guy has some advanced prompts going on. Let's see what it creates here. I also, did you know that Sora creates images as well as video from prompts? So that's really cool. Let's see here. So far looking cool. What did you say that I should add about the reflection, Tony?
All right, now just have it do an astronaut's helmet, like floating in neon liquid, and where you're able to see the reflection of the liquid in the astronaut's helmet's mask. And
Okay.
have it change the color.
And well, I think I'm not sure, but I do have like my hex codes and things stored in here, but that shouldn't make a difference. I should be able to,
No, it tends to lean towards purple when
you
it
know,
does
because of me.
neon.
I know people do me.
It likes that purple, man.
Okay, so change the color to give me a color. Let's say some color that'll show up well. Green.
Try fluorescent gradients. or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
oh, look at you,
Yeah,
fluorescent. I'm so,
make it work.
yeah. Let's just try it. Let's see what we get.
Here we go.
And then I wanted to show you what this creates in Manus, and then we'll go to Sora and we'll try that same prompt and see what we get. Because I think we're going to see that the ChatGPT 4.0 model or Sora, I mean, they're combined here, so we'll see what we actually get.
So when it's doing the 4.0, it's not using Sora, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Sora is actually a separate thing here. But you can reach it through your ChatGPT account. So it is making it all green now, and it does have the reflection here. So while it's generating that, let me take this prompt. Let's go into Sora. And you guys, first, Sora, super cool. Like you can see all of the images here. And let's say, or this is actually the videos, but if I liked this video, I could click in here and I could see the prompt that was used. And then I could edit it as well with whatever I wanted to add. So I think that's really cool because even if you're not like a prompt expert, it still makes it awesome. I can also show you, let's see, my media. You can see I actually gave it an image of myself and told it to put me with the office cast like we're partying, but that doesn't really look like me. Here's another one. This
That
is-
is cool, man.
duplicated me in this. I told it to create this using a Yorkie. This is supposed to be me on Joe
Joe
Rogan's
Rogan? Yeah.
podcast. And this is a guy playing guitar. Let's go back to the images though, and let's just describe the image. And I want to put these two prompts in here. So let's go back to Sora. We'll just paste that in there. And then let's see what it creates.
Floating is spelled on this.
I'm sorry. So that's what it created here inside of ChatGPT 4.0. So that's pretty decent. Let's see what it creates here. And then let's go to the operator. You guys, the operator is kind of like Manus, what we were talking about, how it actually does things. So let's say, like a lot of people are using this for travel, but let's say, let's see if it'll watch a video. So, are you guys give me a suggestion? Because I'm always trying to think, how can I use this and show you? You guys give me a suggestion of something that the operator, meaning kind of like Manus, where it's actually going to do something. Like, should we have it watch a video, you think? Let's try. Let's go to my
Can
YouTube.
can it watch a video and then provide a summary based on that? Or
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I want to really test to see what its capabilities are because typically ChatGPT can't do that. I don't want to go to somebody else's
I
video.
tell you what, if I was paying, I would want this thing, I would want to see this thing like if I saw, for instance, a Canva video on a really cool effect, I would want it to look at that video. I would want it, let's say if I wanted to change like the lettering of my logo, I
Uh-huh.
would want it to look at the video and then reproduce whatever the video is showing how to do and make it in my with my product. Do you understand what I mean?
So you want it to watch like a Canva tutorial video?
Right. Let's say for instance, you know how there's that effect to where you could have smoke coming through like letters,
Uh-huh.
right? That's a really simple Canva effect. Yeah, like that one, like the first one. That simple Canva short.
Oh,
To like watch that and then be able to do it and let's say for it to reproduce it saying my vision agency.
okay, let's try it. So watch this video to learn how to create a template on Canva. So what do we want to create a template on Canva?
But does it have access to Canva? Because that wouldn't be fair to ask if it doesn't have access.
We're just going to see,
All
right?
right, let's
I
do
mean, we have no idea. We're just trying
it.
things out.
Let's
So,
go.
learn now to create a template on Canva using the same strategies to, let's see what it actually said though in the video, just so that I can give it some context here. To create the same image, we'll say, to create the image design, but say vision instead. I have no idea what's going to
All
happen.
right,
We're just
Bridget, I
testing.
wonder if it even needs to go to Canva. I wonder if it'll just generate it itself.
Yeah, and that could be. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But do you
that'll
see
be
how the
crazy.
what the operator is doing? It's like Manus, it's doing something. It's actually in the browser right now. It's looking, it's taking that YouTube video there. It is watching the video. So it says navigating to YouTube. It's watching the video, hopefully. Playing video for Canva template steps. Let's see what else it says. It says playing video. Attempting to play video again. So we'll see how that turns out. While it's doing that, let's go back into this and see. Oh, that's a pretty good image. It's really comparable to this one here. So that makes sense. Let's see. It says refreshing page to resolve playback issue. But isn't it so cool how you could just watch this? Doesn't it kind of blow your mind, like where we're going with this? And there's this save task option. I don't know if this is something that you can save and have it do over and over again, or yeah, I don't know. But it does look like it's having an issue watching the video. Let's choose another video and see if it can read that. Let's try this. Today I will show. So we'll say, watch this video instead. You guys feel free to chime because when I'm screen sharing, I can't see if anyone's raised their hand. So feel free to just chime in if you want to suggest something to try. These are literally like this Canva or not Canva, this ChatGPT account. This is the 199 plan. So my intention is I want to get in here. I want to test this out. I want to see if it's even worth it. So a lot of people say it's not worth it. But I wanted to test all this out so you guys don't have to. I always say I'd rather test it than you all test it. So it's saying navigating to user provided video link. Let's see if it can actually watch this. Now, what I'll do is I will take this and let's put this in Manus. Oops. Let's put this in Manus and see the result that we get. We're going to start a new task here. Watch this video. And let's see what we get.
Hey, Bridget,
Yeah.
do you think you could just, if it has trouble watching a video of what you wanted to do, just,
Mhm.
you think you could find a picture of what you wanted to do, just screen shoot it, upload it, and tell it that you wanted to copy this, but for your brand?
Yeah, let's try it. So I already have this video paused. Let me grab my little snippet tool and let's screenshot this and copy. And let's go back here and let's say, actually, we'll go in here. Create the image to look like this. Okay, one thing I already don't like about this is you can't just paste the screenshot like you can using Manus, so I'll have to save it and then we will have to pull it in here. So see, if I went to Manus to do that, I could just copy and paste. So I would just do this and then put it in. And then that already, you can see that already saves a bunch of steps. So make it look like this. All
That's
right.
weird. You can copy and paste in ChatGPT.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know how you copied that and you couldn't
Yeah.
paste it on Manus?
Yeah.
You had to put it in a
No,
file.
that was ChatGPT. See this right here? I just copied and when and it worked that time.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That was weird.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't work the other time. Because see, I could do the same thing here. Interesting. So that'll take a minute. Let's say I just look, we'll just upload this random image and let's see what it does. Smoking. I will show you overlays like this. Okay. Let's say put an astronaut in that image. And I just misspelled a bunch of things, so we'll see what it does. So in our operator for ChatGPT, it's saying it's having all kinds of issues. It can't access Canva, but it is trying. Let's see, did it actually watch the video? Navigating, skipping the video, refreshing the page, video fix. Well, let's just say, did you watch the video? We'll see what it says. And then we'll do what Charles said. If it watched the video, we'll say, summarize the video and tell us, what it was about. And that'll give us a good, I'll just go ahead and type that out. Summarize the video and tell me what it was about. Oh, so it didn't even, I wasn't able to watch the video due to playback issues. However, I can attempt to create a similar design on Canva based on the image you provided. Sure, let's see what it does. Okay, and it says, so it's trying now. At any point, if there's something that you need to like take control of, you can click here to take control. And then you can also click here to log in to things. So let's go ahead and just log in. And then let's see what it does. I'm going to stop sharing so that I can put this info in here. You guys, what do you think about all of this stuff?
Truly amazing.
I mean, I think it's really cool, and it's funny, like just the process of. I think this training is interesting from the standpoint of like how do you when you interact with new technology, how do you understand how to push the limits of that technology? And I think that that principle from this lesson is something that's really interesting, and it's very very useful.
Yeah, because when new things come out, you don't really know, especially something as revolutionary as AI. We don't really know what the possibilities are because it's something that's brand new to all of us. Um, so it's not going to allow me to log in easily to Canva, but I think you guys can see the point. I would love to be able to log in, but I think it'd just take a lot of time because it's not, I can't find my password. I'd have to reset it. You guys know the game. Let me share my screen though and show you what it.
And the ability to create images or the ability to be able to create video based on prompt, I think that that's really, really cool because you can then create more engaging digital assets.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about like earlier, I was trying to create some Facebook ads. And it's so cool that you can, have ChatGPT create the Facebook ad, but then you can say, now create an image that would go with that ad. And you don't have to think about, what type of image should I share? You don't have to create it. You don't have to have different software. Like I literally, if I had an ad that was something smoking with an astronaut, I wouldn't even have to like create that image. I just paste in, create an image that looks like it would go with this, and it generates it, which I'm really interested to see how it's going to pull these images together. Do you guys have while it generates, do you have
I, I was,
something you want to try here?
yeah, I was wondering if where you said it could create a video, if it took your image and created a video saying some phrase with you talking.
Created a video with a phrase with me talking.
Create a video, have your image, then ask it to create a video of you talking, saying this phrase to see if it would make the video where your mouth is actually moving. And
Yeah, you would have to use something like HeyGen for that, but that's what HeyGen does, certainly. Let me upload this image of myself.
Question then, how does that work? And it's funny you said what you just said. So if I have a chat and I am talking about different things in the chat, and then I want it to create Sora to create images based on that chat, how does that work? Do I need to copy the whole chat into Sora or and then say, hey, create me an image based on the chat, or
So,
do I access Sora from the main site? I know how you clicked on it on the left, so I was just confused about that.
yeah, so inside of ChatGPT, like you can see if we go back here, you'll see Sora, you just
Mhm.
click here and then you log in with your ChatGPT account. The difference is, though, is with Sora, you need to describe your image. So it's going to create the image or it's going to create the video. And you can see when you click on a video and you go to edit the prompt, it tells you, typically, it tells you what
Popcorn
the
chicken.
prompt is. It looks like that's just a image generated. So
It's popcorn chicken.
yeah. So what you'd have to do is this is if you're using Sora, you would need to describe the image or the video that you're trying to create. If you're using something like HeyGen, you can train it on your voice, you can create an avatar, and then you would, once you create the avatar with your voice, then you can give it any script that you want to, and then it will like show your avatar and speaking and, saying the things that you want it to. This is not, you can't do that, at least at this point that I know of, using ChatGPT, Manus, or Sora. You would have to use something like HeyGen that creates that digital avatar to use your voice. So, like we could say, change. Let's see, this description here is change the lion to an adult lion wearing a gold crown around his head, and that didn't even happen. So let's use a different one though, because I just wanted to, oh, there we go. It showed that. That's interesting. I wanted to get it to create, let's see this one. Okay, so you can kind of see I took that other thing and it doesn't really look that much like me, but I just wanted to show you the different variations. You guys, you can, I showed you this week, like how you can create your own songs. Imagine if you could use Chat GPT or that software to create your own music, and then you can create your own video using Sora from that. So you're like cutting up the different scenes, creating those videos with Sora. I mean, really, it's insane what we have the capability of doing right now. Charles says the new site looks good. I like how clean it looks in the reviews. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm giving most of the credit to Manus because Manus created the design. But also, what I loved about how Manus did that whole process was, like I was telling you guys earlier, I trained Manus in the chat on everything about my business. I had it studying my social media. I gave it all of my offers. I said, here's all the things I'm reselling. Here's my brand playbook from the AI coach. Here's all of the things that I'm doing. Now, put it all together and design a website so that it's the highest converting. And that's literally what it created for me. The actual website, like with a live link that I could have shared. Now, when, excuse me, I got choked up with my own excitement. Now, when I was building websites for clients, that whole process where they're giving you all the information and then you create the mock-up, like I know, Charles, we were talking about this earlier. You get all of that info and then you create the first mock-up and then you go deliver it to them. In my website expectations brochure, it said 2 weeks for that process because that's how long it used to take. I did that with Manus for my own business in less than 8 hours the very first time that I used it. Now I was like binging at the computer. I was like putting it all in, trying to figure it all out. But imagine how quick and easy you could do that if this is your regular business and you have a client, and then you could just send them that link and say, here's the mock-up we've designed. Now share with me your feedback in one email, like we always talk. That's insane. That is so insane. You could bust out web design jobs and I mean you could do one a day. That's insane. Rick, I see you have your hand up.
Okay, so now that you've got that made on Manus, can you take that code and copy it and paste it into Go High Level's code widget or in the CSS part at the bottom of a web builder page?
If you
Uh,
know how to build a site using HTML, then you could do that. But if not, you need to rebuild it. But
Okay,
the thing
so how
is,
can
though,
you take that Manus website and use it? How can you use it without it being hosted on the Manus site? That's my question.
but you recreate it in whatever website builder that you're using. But the part that's the longest, like the most time-consuming part, is the design. That's the part that everybody struggles with. It's not the technical part. We can all add a section and put an image behind it, but it's the design of the whole thing. It's like putting the whole project together and then creating like a visual mock-up. That's the hard part. That's where we all struggle. And then you take that mock-up and you go to high level and you recreate it. And if there's anything in that that you think is like, I can't create this on high level, then just use CSS and you could, and put it in Manus and say, hey, I can't build this in high level. Show me how to do this with CSS. Easy.
Okay, then my question is, could you ask Manus to do just that, create this same website in CSS so that I could put it in Go High Level for the entire thing? You could be able to do it so you don't have to recreate it. That would be my question, is how could you get it in there, whether it was CSS or
You
ask
can
it, you
you
know?
have to recreate it. Yeah. You can't just copy and paste it. But the point of it is to create that mock-up, and it creates the mock-up of all the pages. And then you get your whole picture of the project. And then, I mean, even if you didn't want to create it, you could take that to any person who even kind of knows the high-level builder and say, this is exactly what I want, and then pay them to do it. Now they know exactly what you're looking for. You don't have all this back and forth. I mean, it literally can build that mock-up for you, and then you just outsource that. Like you don't have to build it all. But you would now, and we talk about communication all the time with AI, it's like, it's just like being married. I've been married for 27 years. It's like it's communication. If I want my husband to go build something for me, I need to show him exactly what I want. Otherwise, it's just open to interpretation. I use the example of getting a haircut. If you go in to get a haircut and you show a picture of the style that you're looking for, chances are you're going to get the style. But if you go in there and say, like my husband does, where, oh yeah, just kind of leave it on top and then the side short. Well, that could be anything. He could leave out of there looking like a totally different person. And so that's really what it's about. It's quickly creating that mock-up so that you know visually and you can just outsource it. And then you're going to get what you want without all the I love that process. Tony?
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
That's okay.
Sorry.
You said that it does
Oh,
produce a code.
I remember.
It produces, you get the HTML of the website. So if you know how to build a site with HTML, you could do that. It's pretty technical though. Way too technical for me. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tony.
what I was gonna say is that not all codes, okay, that you do with AI is gonna work inside Go High Level. Um, a good majority for like certain things they will work, but you'll come up like the code that I shared with you guys. I got Mantis and I have not been able to get that code to work.
Mhm.
Even though and I went through the process even uh showing it that Go High Level has the code. They
Mhm.
have the carousel, to extract it. I don't know what it is, but I guess the point that I'm just trying to say is not every code is going to work because there's back end code, so don't be too disappointed. And I think that's where the problem will lie if you rely on the AI to write the entire code for your entire website. It's just there's too many gears that make a bunch of stuff behind Go High Level, all of these different automations and all of these different things that you could attach to it that when you start throwing in like certain codes for your website, you're gonna break something. Either you'll break something in the website or the actual CRM for your sub account. You will break it.
Yeah, and you know what happens when you build a website using only code? Every time you edit it, you have to go in there and edit the code. You can't just build a HTML site and then drag in a new form. You know, it's not that easy. It's if it's HTML and you can't do that with high level. You need specifically an HTML builder. Really only developers use that. Normal people like us, we're not building HTML sites. And they're really heavy. And every time I see a site built with HTML, I know it because it's super heavy. It never loads. It's just not a good idea. So you guys, are you using any other AI tools? What have you discovered is a like an obstacle for you with the AI thing? Let me know your experiences.
I'm gonna just jump in real quick. And this is me answering the question, not really answering the question.
Mhm.
Um, I love AI.
I know, I do.
Like, huh?
I do too. I love
Yeah.
it.
So and it's like this week has been really cool from the standpoint of um understanding how to use the tools that I already have on a deeper level. And
Mhm.
so I think that that's something that's really useful and powerful. I'm playing with the new tools. I'm playing with Manus and things like that. I gotta give a shout out to my main man Tony. I'm using Gemini. And then I'm getting a deeper level of understanding of those tools, even the big conversation that we had about privacy and things like that in China. And like I've in using AI, have used that to help me understand what's going on with that, what pros and cons are, and things like that. And it's just like I said again, using it on a deeper level and understanding too, the key concept of trash in, trash out. And then at the same time, too, the other piece that I think is vitally important, and I know helps me, is that um, I understand that I myself have a certain level of intelligence. And so even though I'm dealing with I still have to think. And it's not like I'm offsetting or allowing AI to think for me. It's more like a think partner. And then I'm the check and the balance as far as, hey, does this actually make sense? Hey, is this what, you know, the direction or et cetera? Because sometimes even when you put in good information, it'll push back out something that is incorrect, and so you have to be able to think independently. So that part has been really, really cool. And then I appreciate, you diving in on the deep end and taking those exploratory costs off the table for us so that, we can play and figure out what's going on without it being so expensive for us. So, but again, I think that when it's approached correctly, you definitely do have a tool that will, it's kind of like money. It helps you execute a thought faster from going from the thought process to the manifestation of whatever um that idea is. Okay, how quick can I have this developed? How quick can I execute this? How quick can I get a working model of this? And then based on that working model, I'm going to receive information that I have to use my intelligence to say, okay, what direction do we need to go in? What tool do we use? So that's been my experience thus far. So it's not really answering the question, but I know I'm answering the question, if that makes sense. And so I appreciate that. But that's my thought now. I relinquish my time.
Yeah, you're so right. And I do, like you guys see, I don't introduce a lot of new tools all the time because honestly, it's more cost effective and better for us to use the tools that we have. And most of the time, there's a workaround for everything. However, with this Manus thing, and I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. That's why I upgraded to the highest plan. I want to see what's the deal. Like, is it even worth it? But when something like Manus comes out and it's so like people are just losing their minds. I know that you guys want to know, but also I want to know because if this is something that could really help me with my business and can help me speed up the processes, all the things that you're saying, Charles, then that's something that I want to use. And so I figure that's also something that you guys want to use. And there are so many new tools. Like I've just barely dove into Gemini, but there's so many of these that really, if we wanted to just scrap our businesses and play around with AI, it would be like a never ending, trial of all the AI things. So yeah, I think it's cool also in this community because, like Tony, he's using Gemini, now you're using Gemini, but it's cool that we can all share our own experiences and say, I've used this and it's great at this and it's not great at that, because then it does save us all the struggle and the time and the financial aspect of trying it out. Keith, go ahead.
I was just going to add on to what Charles was saying and the thank you for exploring and incurring those costs. And part of the reason it's excellent from my point of view is that I watched a YouTube video of a Russian uh, a, uh, AI agent creator kind of working at a higher level for business cases and reviewing some of the things that they've learned over the last couple of years. And one of the keys was make sure you have a business case with a strong ROI already before you try and apply an AI agent to what it is that you're doing. So you accomplish that and have blended it in, whereas I'll speak for myself, but maybe others are in the same boat where if within high level as well, not just the AI agent case, we haven't quite gotten to the point where we're making a great return on investment on the high level and HL Pro tools and all the other pieces that go in. And because there are AI components within those systems and many other options in this early stage, to circle back and focus on the fact that we need a business case with a positive ROI. So all this to say, thanks again for being in that position and sharing kind of where you are and helping us shortcut and maybe not go down as many rabbit holes. So it's a double-edged sword. You're showing us the cool rabbit holes, but preventing us from maybe going down them too.
Yeah, well, it's the AI thing is like what we always talk about with automation. We don't want to automate too soon. And it's like what Charles was saying too. Even if you're using AI, you have to have the experience and the knowledge to know when AI's got it right and when it's got it wrong. And you want to take the knowledge that you have and then the knowledge that AI gives you and the resources AI gives you, but you still need to use your own experience and thought process. It's like when, AI is generating that website for me, I know looking at it, the things that it did right and the things that it did wrong. And the only reason I know that is because I've done this so many times. But when you have worked out all those kinks, or maybe you're just super like, maybe you just want to do what I did, right? Like, even though I do have like an established business, everything is going well, I still wanted to train the AI because I wanted a second opinion. I wanted like a fresh set of eyes. So I wanted to give it everything about my business and kind of say, okay, what do you think? Like, what should I do next? And of course, I want to use my own brain to see what I think about that. But it can be a good starting point too. If you do feel like you're kind of all over the place and you just need to like kind of flesh out some ideas, I think AI is a great resource for that. Charles is, you're so funny. I'm just reading the chat.
Well, I saw on BBC they were talking about this Pakistani AI that's come out. These things are going to be coming out from all over. And the good news that I heard was the more that these come out, the cost is going to be
Yeah.
dropping
Mhm.
in everything. So just like that $200 a month AI feature right now, the competitor is going to come along and offer it for 150 and then $80,
Mhm.
So that's the good news. And I appreciate you investing into looking into this thing because that's just helping us to be on the leading curve, follow, observing what you're doing. And I want to thank you for that too.
My pleasure. I hope that all and I've preached about this so much, like the shiny balls. I don't want when I introduce something new for you guys to be like, oh, now here's a new tool and here's a new thing. It's just like I'm always preaching about, just kind of stick a pin in it and just say, I'm so glad that I know that's available so that when the time comes that I do need it, I know that that's a resource that I can tap into. But you certainly, if you don't need it now, why get it? And I'm not an affiliate for Manus or ChatGPT, you know? So it's like I have nothing to gain by telling you one is better than the other, except I just want us to be more successful in our businesses. And if we're using a tool that's like crappy, you know, I'll test it out. I'll tell you, is it crappy? Is it going to save you a bunch of time? And honestly, it's like I talk about with the short form videos. I feel like there's so many tools that will take it, even Opus, and I barely tried Opus. But there's a lot of tools that will take the long form video and it will like cut it up in clips. And there's not a tool that I feel like really cuts it up and gives the quality result that makes me want to fire my short form video guy and then start doing it myself. I feel like it still takes too much time and more time than I want to invest. So I'm not, if you guys, if you know of something that actually does save the time to create short form videos, definitely let me know. But there's lots of those tools out there. It's like, yes, it's so great. You can do all these things, but is the result really good? Because if you have to generate it and then you have to spend like another 2 hours like editing and doing all that, is it really worth it at that point? I don't know. I guess we all have to make that decision for ourselves. You guys have any other questions or yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Charles.
no question. So, you know how there was a training you did a couple weeks back, and it was like the Q&A, and we were generating bulk Q&As for videos and stuff like that. And the thought process there was, I might be wrong, it's either 10 or 20 would be like the max, because anything beyond that, the image, the results started to wane basically. you had a diminishing return at that particular point. When we're talking about images and creating images, right? So if we let's say we throw in a prompt and we're trying to create multiple images, is there a limit there, kind of the same way, or should you do them one at a time, or does that make sense? What I'm trying to ask?
I would definitely suggest doing them one at a time, or maybe three at a time, because a lot of times like it will generate again, we're using AI, so it's not perfect by any means, but a lot of times it will generate like the first image, and you really kind of want to look at that image and give it some feedback, like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, except maybe don't put text in an image because you keep screwing it up. That type of thing. And then it will take that feedback and then generate the next image. So I feel like if you just did all of the images, you're going to be burning up a lot of credits with ChatGPT. But and then you're not going to have that opportunity before it spits them all out to say, yeah, that's not really what I was looking for on image one. And then now you have to start all over. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely, but if you get an image that's perfect, try it out and see what results you get. Like if it's perfect, it's exactly what you want. Maybe you want to say like, all right, now generate 20 more images like that and then see what you get. I do feel like though the further it goes on, the more kind of weird things get. So
Okay.
just my experience, but let me know if you try it. Let me know how that goes.
I don't know if my mic's working. Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. Question about that. My experience has been, and I think I've said this before, if you give it a long, drawn-out job, like generate 20 images right now, or tell me 15 stories with chapters and all that, it gets tired. At least ChatGPT and a couple of others, I can't remember which ones, seem to start repeating, at some point. And it's like, hey, why are you asking me all these questions? I've given you everything I've got. And so you really have to kind of think about it before you ask them. And maybe if your goal is 10, ask them 3 and 3 more and 4 more or something like that to get 10. Because it starts repeating itself. And I found that kind of disconcerting. But anyway. And as far as the discussion about how many of these companies are going to come out, it seems like they are a flash in the pan. I mean, what has happened to Claude? Claude is really a good generator of just about anything you want. And also the Microsoft Copilot. And there are also many of them that use AI within their like Microsoft does. And so it's like a flash in the pan. You say, hey, this is so great. Next week, Manus may not be as great as we think it is. Somebody else has superseded it with everything they've got, plus one more ability. But it is exciting. I love it because each week it seems to get
Yeah,
better and smoother.
Anytime a new tool comes out, I just let it roll usually. Like I just let the market figure it out. Is it good or bad? And then if they say it's super good, then maybe I'll try it. And that's kind of how the Manus thing came about. And like all the other AI tools, you know why I don't use them? Because it's shiny ball syndrome. If ChatGPT is giving me everything that I need, I don't have a reason to go investigate the other ones. Now, there was a time Tony was telling me about creating a video where you can use Gemini and screen share and all of that. And I was like, what? That blew my mind. So I had to go test it out. But I felt like Gemini was lacking on some other things. So I went back to ChatGPT. So, and now we have the operator with ChatGPT. That was my other thing. But it's the AI tools are just like any other tools. We want to stay focused on our business and our processes and the things that are moving the needle. And we don't want to just say, oh, a new tool comes out, so I'm going to spend the whole day, playing with this tool and researching, because that didn't really help you, right? It gave you the knowledge and that's fun, but it didn't really help you move the needle. And so also, every time you use a new AI tool, you have to teach it about who you are, what, your brand playbook and your plans and what you like and how you want it to talk to you and all those things. And it just takes more time. Now, Manus was interesting though. It was one of the things that I said I'm jumping out because way too many people that I have a lot of respect for were saying this is the coolest thing that we've seen in a long time. So I was like, okay, enough said. I'll have to dive in. Maria, you have something to say? I can't hear you. I see you're unmuted, but I can't, I don't know if you're, it's okay. We'll come back to you, Maria, if you
Hear
want
me
to.
now?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I pushed the button. It was something on my mic here with my beautiful what is it, Yeti mic. I had to switch it here. Uh, I just have a funny story about ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and it was funny to me, so I'm gonna share it. I used it and I kept using it, and I would ask it questions, and it was bringing up results in Spanish. I speak Spanish, of course, and I was like, does this ChatGPT recognize that I speak Spanish? How would it know this? And I kept telling it, no, answer me in English. And I would tell it to do that, and it would do it. And then after many tries, I finally figured out that I had pushed the button at the bottom where it says language, and I had accidentally switched it to Spanish. But ChatGPT kept answering. And then when I told it, don't do that, do it in English, it would actually do it in English, even though it was set to Spanish. But it was freaking me out because I was like, is this thing that smart that it knows I speak Spanish?
You know
And
what?
it was me.
You know
You're
what's
lucky
so
you
funny?
didn't accidentally put, you're lucky you didn't accidentally put Japanese or something. You never find out how to get out of it.
Yeah, I looked out and I saw it. I said, oh, geez. And I was literally freaking out. I was thinking, is this thing that smart that it knows?
Maria, I was talking to it one time and it kept doing something wrong and then I said, "Why do you keep, I gave you the information." This is something again that Manus doesn't do, that ChatGPT does all the time, where it's like, "I gave you the information. What are you thinking?" I feel like Manus is a lot smarter than that. But anyway, I was in ChatGPT and I was like, "I gave you the information. Why do you keep asking me that?" And then she says, "Oh, my bad." And I was like, why did you just say my bad? That's something I say. And then I asked her, did you just say my bad because you're trying to sound like me? And she said, oops, caught me. It's like,
Oh,
okay, that's weird.
that was creepy.
Yeah, that was super, super weird.
Yeah, so that was my story, my experience with ChatGPT. It was just funny to me. The fact that I was freaking out about it, I kept thinking to myself, why is it doing? And I was getting angry. I was like, stop speaking to me in Spanish. Answer me in English right now. And she was like, okay. And she didn't do it. So, but finally I fixed it. So that's okay. So guys, if you're in another language, check at the bottom. You might have accidentally switched.
That's funny. Charles, go ahead.
You talked about and I probably missed this. You talked about credits for images in Go High Level. How does that work? Because I'm totally unaware.
So that counts as the AI credit. So any t and like if you have the unlimited AI employee, that's included in that package. So everything that AI has to generate,
You talking
that's
about in Go High Level? Or you talking about in
yeah.
ChatGPT?
Yeah, you said high level, right?
No, ChatGPT. I'm sorry. I mean, if I
Oh,
did, I meant ChatGPT.
in ChatGPT, it's using basically your API credits, right? So every plan for ChatGPT has, let me see if I can look up ChatGPT plans. So every plan has limitations here. So this is what you have to stay at. Now, I did just see in Sora that it said that I had unlimited. When you create an image, it was something that popped up here that said that now there are no credits that are needed for Sora. Um, but there are limitations, and I would have to I'd have to really dive in here because it depends for each model and all of that stuff. But the open AI when you're using OpenAI, that is like what we talked about the other day, where you have to store your wallet and then you're generating, that type of thing that uses credits. But we could ask ChatGPT if you want to. Let's ask. Let's
Hey,
share the screen.
Charles, those credits are the credits that get used when you install that API key inside when you're using the bot for Zappy Chat.
Yeah,
Those are the credits that get used, those
but
API credits that Bridget's talking about.
I guess I'm confused because I know I paid Go High Level, but I don't remember setting up an API key. But maybe I did. I don't know.
No, high level has its own.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah. But if you're using, like, let's say that there was another third-party tool and it required you to have your OpenAI API key, then when you connect that API key, if it was generating images, every image that you create would be using those credits. But you'll know if you have to use your API key. So it says right here, how many images can you create using ChatGPT? It says as of April 2025, GPT offers image generation capabilities. Free users can generate up to 3 images per day. GPT Plus subscribers, the $20 a month, have higher limits, allowing up to 50 images every 3 hours using DALL-E 3. And then there are limits subject to change based on demand and system capabilities. And it says consult OpenAI's official resources.
Got you. So I got 50. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I just saw, like I was saying, with Sora, I don't really know like if they include, since Sora is ChatGPT, if they include like the images in your plan, but I literally just saw, like, right when I was logging in right before our meeting, I saw where a little banner popped up and it said that it no longer uses credits. So I don't know if it's just now relying on whatever your ChatGPT plan is instead of the additional credits it requires, or how all of that works. I assume I could ask ChatGPT if I really wanted to. How it all works.
What I normally do.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what's your sources?
Yeah.
You guys think of DeepSeek?
Yeah. Have you tried DeepSeek?
I wanted to, but then I was
I
like,
like
oh,
it.
I don't know.
I know
I
Tony's
like
tried it.
You like it?
I
Is it safe? Because I'm like, I was,
No, it ain't safe. It's from
it,
China.
that's why I didn't. I was gonna put it on my phone, the app, and I was like,
Well,
no,
yeah, like that. Yeah, it's safe in that sense, like in that sense. I
I was
mean,
like,
it's from China. Okay,
yeah,
so
I had heard some bad stuff about it, so that's why I
it's not bad. All right,
no.
I really dove deep because like a lot of these AIs, you could put them on your computer with the like with now with the API key, you could literally put them in your computer, and if your internet goes out, you'll still have the AI, right? So you could like plug it in there like that. The thing is the cost, right? It's just if you're in business, and that is going to be the challenge because what OpenAI is charging $200, DeepSync pretty much is giving it away. So when you're having that kind of power, and and then these CRMs start opening the floodgates that you could bring your own API key, that is going to be the business because that's going to dictate how much you're spending in your CRM, right? Because there's a difference between if you're paying $99 for a CRM, but that API key is costing you $200 a month, opposed to that API key now only costing you $50 a month. So it's just as good. It is very good. But like Bridget mentioned earlier and Charles mentioned, it depends what you're going to use it for. It's very good for programming, but it doesn't generate images well at all. It's terrible. It's terrible at it. But
What do you, Tony, what do you find yourself using more often? Like which of the AI platforms?
if I need to learn something, I'm hopping on a Gemini or the studio, like Studio AI. I'm totally, especially if it's something I have no clue about, right? The more difficult the thing that I'm needing to understand. I'm needing that computer to explain it to me in layman's terms, right?
Mhm.
In layman's terms. For imaging now, definitely I like ChatGPT, but Midjourney is where it's at.
Really?
Midjourney,
I
yeah,
haven't used it in a
Midjourney
long
and
time.
Leonardo.
You think Midjourney is better than ChatGPT 4.0 model?
Okay, it's not better if you need, okay. If I'm going to generate something, I don't want words on it if I'm using Canva.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't want any words on it. So I'm not going to use ChatGPT for that. I'm going to Midjourney, especially if I want the person to look real. Okay. If it's a realistic character, a realistic person, I'm going 100% Midjourney right now or Leonardo, right? Leonardo seems to beat Midjourney for a lot of stuff.
Have you
Um,
used Sora a lot for images?
I'm playing with Sora now more since they added the video stuff, simply because like if you need to do I believe shorts are gonna go from how we do them like cartoony and something really fast to like really short professional looking videos like we see commercials, like these major brand commercials are putting out. You know, the shorts Nike put out and Apple put out don't look nothing like the shorts we put out, is what I'm saying. So like that caliber of how well and how good you're going to be able to do, just increase, 10x with Sora, and then you take that. And like I said, if you do it without any text, and you upload and you use a actual editing tool for text with Sora, then you got something. But if you want the AI, each one of these AIs to be all in one, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I love using Canva for most things. And if you want to create like videos using Sora, you can easily upload those to Canva, slip them into like a presentation or a video like thing. That's so easy to do. So insanely easy to do with Canva. If you just create the AI anywhere, whether it's images, and I'm like you, Tony, I don't feel like ChatGPT is getting a lot better though with the images. Like if you ask it to create an infographic, I mean, I've seen some that are blowing me away that I've created. But most of the time you get the goofy looking letters or it's misspelled or whatever. So I'm like you, I just actually will prompt it and say, do not put any text at all in the image. And then I would rather use like just upload it to Canva and then create whatever it is that I'm creating. But still, the amount of time that you save is insane. Or being able to create instead of the old school way where we look for stock videos that we can use to like and hope we find one that kind of matches. We can actually go to Sora now and create exactly the video that we were looking for that clip. That's what I was talking about, creating songs and things like that. It's sick. It is after 3 though. I do want to go ahead and spin the wheel. I want to call your guys' name and make sure that I have everyone. So if I do not call your name, please let me know. We have Tony, Maria, Ray, Martina, Charles, Frankie, Keith, Marie. Did I get Maria twice? Yes, I did. Okay. Tony, Maria, Ray, Martina, Charles, Frankie, Keith, and Rick. Did I miss anyone? Going once, twice. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, so let's go ahead and spin the wheel. And just for those of you who are new, whoever wins gets a free private consultation with me, and it is Martina. I don't think Martina, have you won before? I think you won once.
I was just sitting here. My daughter was like, "Are we getting ready to go outside and check on the doggies?" I said, "Yeah, I'm waiting to see if I win another free session." Yes, and you guys know I need it. Okay.
Beautiful today, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am excited to meet with you again. This is wonderful. See, God knew I needed that.
He always delivers right on time.
Right on time. Wow. Confirmation.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, Martina, I will send you the email as soon as we're done here so you can book your session. Thank you all so, so much for joining me. As always, I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Go make your vision a reality.